My name is Gary Schotten, and I'm here to talk about inspiring better business. And today we're going to talk about no fishing allowed. But I'm going to talk about a subject that's really dear to me because of all the heartache and failure that it has had for businesses. When a marriage goes into difficulty, and if there's a divorce or a close relationship goes into difficulty, and there's problems at home, there's problems in those relationships, I'm telling you that affects the entire company. A divorce can be the most expensive thing that could happen to any company. That could cause the company to be divided, be sold, change directions. I'm not here to talk and give you marriage counseling. I'm talking about how a problem of that nature, that how devastating it is to your business. And so if you can avoid that or avert that, or if this helps in that regard, I'm thinking this is going to inspire better business. Now, first of all, anything I talk about is not going to be gender specific. I'm not saying the men are always at fault or the women are always at fault. No way. This is a universally true, non-gender specific. Each genders have to be on guard for this. And I'm going to give some tips about it. I'm going to tell some stories. I'm going to relate some things that happened in my life. I'm going to give a historical thing that happened some 4,000 years ago that's well documented. Well, it's not culture specific either. I'm telling you that some cultures around the world have a different standard maybe than we have, or maybe than another culture. They're saying, well, that's universally acceptable. Everybody has a mistress. Everybody has a side partner. You know, I'm just still of belief. Maybe I'm square. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I don't understand your perspective, but I will tell you that that will affect, in my opinion, the future success and the prosperity of your business. Maybe not at first. Maybe after a while it will show up. Maybe you can cover that up. I have friends that have covered it up for years. One in particular covered it up for 25 years. And when it came out, it was devastating. It caused devastation to everyone that he had relationship with, and obviously his spouse. It was a man in this case. He was at fault. He's open about his fault, but he has turned his life around. There's hope. Well, here's how it works. I'm using the term no fishing allowed. What happens in the workplace is there usually someone is out fishing. What do you mean? Well, I went with a friend. I'm not a great fisherman, but he had this high-powered 250 horsepower boat, and we're out fishing. And we had goggles on. We had these goggles on, because if you're going 45, 50 miles an hour with no windshield, that wind is hard on your eyes, and you better have goggles. And we would jet. It was in a tournament, and we'd jet to one part of the lake, and then we'd throw out our line, and we'd wait just a little bit. We're waiting for a nibble. We're waiting for a bite. We're waiting for something to indicate on that bobber there's some fish in here. And they would nibble, 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 and then after a while, maybe there was nothing. And so he'd say, hey, there's nothing here. Let's go to another one. And we'd get on this boat, and we'd put the goggles on again. I'm thinking, this is crazy. If we hit something, we're going to all be dead. Well, we didn't hit anything. We came to a new spot. We threw the line out again, and we watched for little nibbles. Guess what? There's somebody, especially as you become more successful, especially this is gender, not men or women. I'll give examples in a minute that when there's women that can portray themselves as I'm available. There's a little nibble, there's a little nudge, there's a little touch of the hand. In my case, I was in a meeting, and it was an individual. I'll never name their name. It's been more than 25 years ago. And it had a greeting, and it was just say hello. Well, I can do a sister hug. A sister hug to me is when you grab shoulders and you hug from the side, not full frontal hug, tight. And if that's kind of forced on me, I usually put my shoulders in like this, my elbows in, so I can still hug, but I'm holding this away from me. Well, this person was nibbling, there's no question. Full frontal, right up, rubbing around. I'm telling you, I didn't ask for that. That was a nibble. Another case, where someone hands me a note. It was somebody working for me, wanted to meet in a private place. It wasn't a hotel room. It was just, I wanted to talk privately. That's a nibble. They're wanting to see, hey, am I interested to take this another step? I'm not blaming the women, so let's talk about the men. There's men that will just throw out a nibble, throw out a compliment, throw out a suggestion, throw out a touch on the hand, a rub on the back. Oh, your back's hurting. Let me rub it for you. Those are nibbles, and I'm telling you, this is where it all starts. You follow that nibble and you bite and take the bait, you're only going to cause yourself heartache at the end. Well, you heard my stories. There's more stories by many people. I know it to be true. Just in case you're wondering, I've been faithful to not accept those nibbles, but I will tell you, I thought about it. So anybody tells me that they're not thinking about it's probably lying. Now, old history story, nation of Israel. King David. Now, King David became king because he first fought as a young boy, David and Goliath. And Goliath he killed, and he got part of the reign of the kingdom, and he became second in command and got the current king's daughter in marriage. And so he's now king. And at that time, the kings were more than just king. They were also the judges. As time went on, he was getting older, and as he got older, he sent his men out to battle. And he sent his men out to battle, and he didn't go out. And he was home, probably bored. I'm going to name two things that will be most conducive for someone to slip. But he was probably bored, and it was in the middle of the night, and he saw out, I don't know, in the shadow, a moonlight or something, he saw a woman. And that woman was bathing, and he saw her probably in the nude, and he says, I want that woman. Well, a long story short, he got that woman, and that woman happened to be the wife of one of his friends. That's horrible. And that wife happened to become pregnant, and as that time went on, he tried to figure out a way so that he could make it look like he was innocent. When that didn't work, he actually sent instructions, because this man, the husband of the woman, was in battle, and he was loyal and faithful, and he went out to battle, and it was set up so that he got killed intentionally on the battlefield because of King David. And King David had a friend named Nathan, and Nathan knew he was his best friend, and he had to approach the king in a way that wouldn't make the king mad and possibly hurt him, to be honest with you. And so he told this story. He told a story about a man that had a small lamb or a small sheep, and it was part of their family. This is 4,000 years ago, and apparently this lamb was a part of the family, almost like a pet, was in the house or was with them. And then there was another owner of sheep that had hundreds, lots and lots of sheep. And as Nathan told this story to King David, he said, you know, in comes a guest from afar, and there was a need for someone to kill a lamb to feed this guest. And you know what? They took the lamb. The king took the lamb for the one guy that had just one little lamb, and killed it to eat. And then Nathan says to King David, says, hey, what is your judgment? What would you say we should do to this person that did such a thing, the judge? And he said, he ought to be killed. That's horrible. You would never do that. And Nathan said to David, that's you. You took this man's wife. You had your pick. You didn't have to do that. And so he was pointing out the fallacy that David had. And from that point on, I have a Nathan in my life. I have someone that I have asked to say, listen, I want to be accountable to you. And this person says they want me to be accountable to them, in the sense that we're going to hold each other accountable. And you'll know that you've done a good thing. Somebody that you can be truthful to. Now, I wouldn't be helping you if I didn't give you a couple strong suggestions. The place that you're most vulnerable on this subject is when you're overly tired or you're bored. Watch those times. When you get bored, you need to get busy doing something productive. And the opposite of that is when you get too busy, you're just running with such a small amount of sleep that you become overly tired. Well, I want you to be successful, but success isn't to get all the way almost to the finish line and then end in divorce or separation or end in and when that happens, normally half of the end par goes to the spouse on either side of this. So hope this helps. We want to inspire a better business. This may not be the happiest message, but it's one that could save your life, could save your future, could save your business. Thank you.